Hello, how are you? Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Melky, and I'm not playing War of the Vision right now. I just want to do something else. I wanna read my own blog. Uh, yeah, 'cause I've made a blog since year since a long time ago, since the like even before Facebook. No. Actually, even the social media, like MySpace was there, and then Facebook, right? And there's also another social media. I was on there before I go to Facebook, and I also had a blog there. So I cannot really tell when did I start blogging, but I'm going to start from the year 2019. Sin Atonement Law version 0.04. It might be viable to give victims of criminal acts permission and controlled means to communicate online with the criminal in jail in order to ask the criminal for information or knowledge, or to ask them for services or products made using tools allowed in jail. Criminals are not obliged to comply, but they do not have any right to any form of payments as well. However, local judge could prevent or ban further communication if it's dangerous for the parties and for the society. No, I was in a certain emotional state at that point, and I think some kind of criminal acts was done to me, and then I kind of have what the thoughts that usually went through victim's mind, and then there comes to me a certain resolution, like not really a resolution, but this idea came up to me. So if the person that performed criminal act to me went to jail, at least I could get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like he would pay to me something. If he was very poor, then give me some information or something. That's the state of mind with that where I was, and I'm starting to go back into that place again. Okay, that sorry. 16th of January 2019, taxes and the golden sticker. So I've explained many times about what I believe to be the solution to my piracy issues, which is the golden sticker, where basically you post receipts of your transactions with the authors of the solutions you use in your social media profile page. By doing this, you will be acknowledged by potential business partners or investors as person who give thanks to the sources of his or her solutions. Now, there is a way to mess up with the ecosystem of the golden sticker. If one kept on giving stickers for free, low quality, high quantity, then the value of the stickers would be unreliable. A way to deal with this is for every sticker pair, because a sticker in one profile linked to at least another sticker in another profile, the social media company and the government would be given a cut, yes, transaction tax. By embracing transaction tax, we could improve data reliability. For us to understand about this is, imagine NFT. Um, you would create, like an artist would create an NFT, and people's been listening to their music. Let's say a boy band called Boys Will Be Boys, right? Boys Will Be Boys created an NFT. People have been pirating their songs for years and years. Now, some people who have been enjoying their song until adulthood think, you know what? I think I should buy their NFT at least, just to be reciprocal, because otherwise I wouldn't be reciprocal. It doesn't feel good. And to be reciprocal, they bought the NFT. And NFT is an electronic form, so you can put it in your profile page, and people would know. And then after that, that NFT is linked to that Boys Will Be Boys profile page, of course. Uh, the form would be like who are the people who have bought your NFT, right? Um, Over time, you bought a lot of NFT, maybe not only from Boys Will Be Boys, but Girls Will Be Girls, maybe from Gays Will Be Gays, or other musicians like that, and then you have too much of it. And even now, and even then, even if you shop KFC, for example, like one of my favorite fast food restaurant, KFC, you would be getting NFT in the receipt. And I think that's not inappropriate. I think NFT is like a receipt. Like you enjoyed a product and then you paid and then you get the receipt. That's NFT basically. Like, but I mean, you don't use that picture. That picture you can just copy and paste, but the value is within the receipt. That is the currency, let's say. But it's not like the currency to exchange. It's just the currency to acknowledge. And then even in even if you buy KFC, you buy Logitech mouse, some stuff like that. Why didn't I just say Backstreet Boys, guys? Backstreet Boys, but I didn't pirate Backstreet Boys. I pirate some other stuff, but I didn't pirate Backstreet Boys. Okay, uh, like that. Like I remember this Tara in the past. I the when I go to this Tara, I would buy Backstreet Boys CD. So so that I didn't regret it at all. And then you got NFT right in your profile page, and now you have a lot of them. And then there's going to be a software to aggregate it in your profile page. Then and then people would be like hey yo, do you wanna start a business? Okay, yeah, can I check your profile page? Show me your profile page. Oh yeah, yeah, show me your profile page as well. Oh dude, you appreciate Backstreet Boys. I like Backstreet Boys too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, you appreciate them a lot. And then after that, there must be a form of trust or something, right? Because if you see someone who doesn't pay anything, like, you would be less trustful. If you see someone who are willing to pay more, you would be more trustful. And it's not just trust, it various different stuff, different for every person. Maybe I'm wrong on certain things because I've already talked too much, but but that's the point that I wanted to make. So people would have people then would have an idea on how to solicit illicitly solicit this. Not really illicit because I don't know whether that would be a legal thing or not, but they could just, within their brothers or their friends, they could just exchange their own NFTs, like their own, like they act like they traded a lot. So the aggregate software would read like you have a lot of NFT, you have paid, you have spent a lot of money into the economy. That means you are a prestigious person. That's how you like wanna cheat a system. But then I would say, like, in order to reduce this, of course, pay tax, transaction tax for every transaction. So even if it's 0.01%, there's a cost to there's cost for you to do this. Yeah, and and at the end of the day, the person who are going to transact with you could look further or deeper. They don't have to just trust uh, at the first glance, of course, because it's a serious transaction. Okay, next, don't pursue absolute profit. If somehow people understand about my philosophy and tried it in their life, they might be tempted to pursue absolute profit instead, when they could safely say they owe nothing anymore to their sources of solutions, right? Like you give back, and you is there a point where you said, oh, that's enough, that's the pinnacle of humanity, the pinnacle of reciprocity, I've reached it, and that's the safe spot. And I said, don't. Instead, you have to pursue to use as many services as possible. Is it sounds counterintuitive? And then I give an explanation, because by interacting with the working mutual solutions means that you prioritize the spirit behind it, and that's a contribution as well. So you will have this balance of life exploration and giving thanks. Giving thanks is very important, but our focus is limited. Our resources is limited as well. And by inventing or discovering, hopefully we will end it up with a system that could automatically take care of our human sources of solutions. I was talking about spiritual sources of solutions. This is related to my belief in spiritual beings. In the point of view of inclinations, I kind of I kind of prove that spiritual beings are individuals, like companies are individuals. There's thing called inclination, the inclination to eat, the inclination to preserve humanity, the inclination to be smart, the inclination to make humanity smart is actually an entity. You can look at it as an entity. It has a body, it can move, or something like that. So this is what I'm talking about while I'm writing this. Um, so you will have this balance of life exploration and giving thanks. um so and I said, um and by inventing or discovering, hopefully we will end it up with a that could automatically take care of our human sources of solutions, meaning uh we want to reach a point where we have given back to all of our sources of solutions. And of course, this is going to be very hard. But if we keep on progressing technology, we would one day be able to reach this. Although I doubt that we would be able to give back to the spirits, but in terms of human beings, that would be taken care of. That's what I'm saying here. But even now, I'm like, I couldn't imagine, right? Again, it's all about hope, guys, because we can't yet achieve pure ethical state. Every time we took a bath, we destroyed billions and billions of lives on our skin. Even when we could figure out the whole ethical issue one day, there's still other issues to tackle on. Pursuing purity, in my opinion, could be a bad idea when there are other things that could easily be improved if you allocate the effort you allocated for the mundane obsession. I believe we can control our taste to a certain extent, including the direction of our obsession. Yeah. Okay. I, I mean, okay. Excitement within a loyal relationship. Problem solving is a part of charm. Every time you've successfully solved a problem, you'll adopt a charm point. And this point doesn't have to be manually communicated. People have innate ability to sense things like this, although different people are sensitive to different things. Okay, like what I mean here, like intuitively, when you're around a person, there's some kind of intuition about this person's personality, and it stems from his or her ability to solve problems. Some liars put on a persona. Yeah, that would be the kind of intuition that they cater to. Obviously, that's what I'm talking about. So if what you do every single day is solving the same problem over and over again, if what you do every single day is solving the same problem over and over again, your spouse is a human being as well that has the intuition for diversification. Oh, this is when you have a relationship and you're bored with that guy. What you want to do is to consider different problem solving in your spare time. And if you are good at something new, make it a new habit. Your spouse will find you perplexing with some new kinds of charms. So this is my I don't have empirical evidence of this. This is just my deduction. Okay, next, FSM, furniture subscription model. Furniture subscription model. Have your store with always new, always clean, always fresh furnitures. When you subscribe to FSM, you technically bought many furnitures with down payments of the price of one. Firstly, you decide which furniture you'd like to have and buy it. Next, get into contract. After 5 months, you would swap the furniture with the new one. There was a 1 month gap for decision making or 1 month browsing period. Your old furniture will be cleaned and dried, made as if it were brand new, and have it displayed in the FSM store. Your new furniture is actually a used furniture by other people, but it feels clean, smells good, and it looks good. It makes your room feel brand new. All the decisions will be made online. You don't have to leave your home. You could if you wanted to, but if the store has its high standard that made it unnecessary for you to do so. The cost of doing this is expanded every time a swap was made, and it's like a maintenance cost. A swap has to be done within 5 months to ensure that all registered furnitures are maintained regularly. If you decided to stop swapping or you significantly damage the furniture, the way specified in the contract, your subscription would be ended. And if you wanted to be in the community again, your furniture would have to be re-examined. So this is like Indonesian koperasi, like a cooperation. Maybe the Dutch also understand this. It's like a community, and they are all of them are shareholders of the cooperation of the co-op, and that's how you distribute furniture around. Okay, next, old learners versus young learners version 0.03. One potential addressable problem when dealing with old learners is they tend to stress themselves upon inferior results, easily frustrated. While young learners don't care about other people's grand achievements, they tend to appreciate their smaller progresses more. This makes it more likely, although not the only factor, for young learners to burn things into their minds compared to old learners. Isn't it the other way around? Yes, there is a higher resolution about this from my point of view. Young people tend to consider their achievements yet to be significant enough for the world, but they encourage themselves upon small progresses they've made. While I, when consumed by an old mentality, considered my achievements were huge for the world, but at the same day, internally discredited for myself the significance of the improvements I've made, the satisfaction of the present. However, is old and young really a matter of age? When it comes to learning, is it really beyond your control to be young or not to be old? Appreciate your young self, the kid deserves it. Um, this trail of thoughts probably is not intuitive, so I don't feel like going into this deeper actually, because I've read my previous post and it is already very deep, and if I go in here again, it's like a roller coaster to my mentality. Probably I came out going out to a restaurant today or something, I would look like a crazy person because my ego would be all over the place or something like that. No, I'm going to go on, move on. Oh, it's another deep one. Why honoring your parents is mega important. Version 0.04. This is going to be a long post before. Here is a keyword from Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. Sorry, I forgot. Basically, in his lecture in 2017 about openness and intelligence, he talked about how if a person sees the future as predictable, it would become easier for him or her to invest in his or her future. And the opposite is true. If a person wants to be hardworking, he or she would achieve that state easier if he or she believed that the future is certain for him or her. Uh, it's about neuroticism, basic. No, it's about survival mentality. That amygdala stuff. Now, have you ever experienced a serene and powerful lonely time in your parents' house when they are away? Yes, yes, yes. But when they got back home, the house becomes so stressful you lost your previous drive to plan and execute. Yeah, this was back in the day, when you're a teenager. Your mental state is a bit sensitive and unstable. Well, um, when you are sensitive and unstable, you are when other people are not having a good time, it is also it's also heavy on you too. Well, that means your parents has managed to provide you with stability, good enough for you to see forward. However, your parents can't feel that about their home, and you must understand. When you saw a serene and powerful house, they saw bills, clients, customers, employees, or bosses that has their own problems in order to maintain the family. That house means less of a solution to them than it is to you, right? They have a lot of problems in order to maintain a house. Of course, the logical solution would be to leave you alone to do your thing, to optimize the achievements, because you would do so much more with the stability that they have achieved. But deep down inside, they might or may not trust you. Yeah. And it's the same everywhere except in China. What? The culture of honoring your parents is so prevalent and even over the top sometimes. The parents could be certain that their children would be less prioritized if the society by the society if they become ungrateful. Uh, right. This is like, I don't know. I am not, I'm sorry about, like, I mean, it is an observation of mine. I do believe it though, but I could be wrong about this. It's an observation of mine. Okay, what I'm saying is, yes, your parents love you and they love you unconditionally to a point, but beyond that point, it's still business because they are human beings and they are still liable to problems and sufferings. They too have their own fears. Wait. Let me explain further about the China thing. Of course, logical solution will be to leave you to do your own thing, uh, but deep down inside, they might or may not trust you. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, you gotta pay your rent even if it's for your parents. Okay, um, but for the for a culture where child is where the younger one is like a slave, and everybody makes sure of that to be the case. um they don't have this feeling of insecurity. The parents would not, like, the parents could just rest assured that that they will have the young ones to do whatever. But I mean, yeah, I saw that in my observation, but a lot of young people perform pushbacks as well, and the consequence of that pushback is your parents would feel like they suffered loss. Whether this is true or not, there's an angle that says, oh, I didn't came into this world with a contract or something like that. I don't want to go there, but for sure that house is something that is valuable, and it is a spoiled habit if you don't pay anything. Okay. And this block is meant for your family to be honest and realistic about it. Your parents need profit from you as well. It would be very useful for you to fully understand their terms of negotiations, to be in good terms with them before you embark on ambitious journey. Be a profitable person. On side note, here's a formula for life achievements. Okay, this seems to be highly unrelated, but it is related. But it is like it's a stretch. On side note, here's a formula for life achievements. X1 y1 plus x2 y2 x3 y3 plus x4 y4 x5 y5 x6 y6 and so on. X being the principle or the spirit. I've talked about this before. You improve this by learning, enjoying, copying, creating. Y being the authors or the humans. You improve this point by giving thanks to them. And each segment could represent mathematics, medicine, accounting, security. In other words, all the solutions you've experienced. In order to maximize your potential, you would want to give thanks accordingly, like free trade. Each person or entities has different talents or specialties, but the rule of thumb is you would achieve maximum advantage if you allocate 50-50 to the X and Y, XY. I made this not out of science, but out of my intuition from my life. Even now, I have changed it to correct it. Or I made a correction there in the blog. It might not be that good, but it is something really. Like, yeah, you, for example, you are an artist. Uh, a tribute to the spirit of artistry would be a tribute to the spirit of artistry would be to practice art and to keep on creating the art. And for the human part, you would like to solve the problems of the artist that is inspires you. And you would, and if you do this, you allocate your effort 50-50 on this, it would result better than you just focus on one aspect. Like, you just give thanks to the human, give thanks to the artist, and you are not excelling your hustle, then it's not like it's not excelling your hustle. It's just do whatever it is for the principles that you're on, right? It's not optimal. Of course, if you pirate, right, this the implication of not giving back to the human is piracy. You pirate and you get the most optimal level of artistry there is, like the most beautiful, the most difficult kind of art. Everybody would admire that, but then again, in the long run, there's going to be some imbalance that's gonna be a stumbling block that is unseen. Man, it's a disaster. It's going to hurt you. So yeah, that is it. That's what I'm talking about. And the same thing goes to your parents as well. Like they definitely have contributed to you when you are little until now. Like for me, until now, um, yeah, I like, if I don't give thanks to them, it would be, I wouldn't be, maybe I could be happy on certain aspect, and then I could feel sad on another aspect, because I'm not that balanced. It's true. I still believe, I still stand by this. Okay, next. Uh do I deserve good things? You deserve good things. Depression, the embodiment of the inclination to not incline, the enemy, could really be broken down to that question. All of our fears for us that's not in depression is also about the question, do I deserve good things? Who deserves good things? Who doesn't? And what an achievement it is to be able to unravel the reason or the philosophy that could say that all of you deserve good things, while at the same time synchronized with reality resulted in permanent abundant mutual solutions in reality. And what an achievement it is to be able to unravel the reason for or the philosophy that could say all of you deserve good things, while at the same time synchronized with reality resulted in permanent abundant mutual solutions in reality. Because if you say that all of you deserve good things, that means we are already in heaven. Okay. uh Debatable, but okay. But do I really deserve good things? Who doesn't deserve good things? 2017 lecture of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson about personality biology traits, incentive, reward, or neuroticism, and I put in a link there, presents the state of depression as when you categorize yourself in a bad box. People has a sense of good and bad they judge. If you judge yourself as bad, really, then what's your reason to keep on going? You would basically rationalize for your own demise. I myself has talked about this, judging, not depression, in my previous post, but I was not being specific. Judging is best viewed from the point of inclination. In a road that could only tolerate 50 kilometers per hour cars, there are two cars entering it precisely 40 kilometers per hour, but one was 100 kilometers per hour 2 seconds ago, and the other one was 1 kilometer per hour 2 seconds ago. Which one is the potential trouble, judging by the standard? Of course, the one that was 1 kilometer per hour 2 seconds ago, because that guy is accelerating and he would be breaking the speed limit at that point. In a real sense, if I'm not mistakenly remember, when I was young, I watched a TV show where there was a dad is contemplating to sell his daughter in order to be able to feed his son because his village was stricken by drought. If he sold his daughter, she would be able to get food and water in another city, even though as a oh, I'm not gonna say this, and he would have enough money to buy food for his own, for his now starving son. So he has a daughter and then he has a younger brother. I kind of remember this. Now I don't want to dwell in this too much and start a judging competition of what's ethical and what's not. Let's focus on how unreliable it is for the society to actually pass judgment over the worthiness of a human being. And the fact that you adopt that stupidity is going not saying that you deserve it, but in reality, it is going to lead you to depression. The more you judge other people, the more you too will be judged by yourself. So, how you may ask, I figure out the best way to prioritize other people for good things that I could give. If you ask me, obviously, my answer would be those that have helped you with your life solutions. And that answer is not out of the current standard of worthiness popularly adopted. That answer came out of my fight against the enemy. Oh, I was depressed. Could I say those that doesn't give back to their sources of solution doesn't deserve good things in life? If you can, just don't go there ever. As much as your point of view is unique, reality is bigger than your point of views. Well, actually, I've committed a sin based on this. I've just look. Here's the thing, right? I watched about this priest in Mayan and Aztec culture that those people freaking eat babies and take out take out person's heart and eat it in front of the public and celebrate it like it is some kind of divine ceremony. Freaking like I'm so mad. And they even used dull tools to kill their prey. They suffer until they. I just want to. Oh my god! Like, how's that not like? Ah, I mean, judging too has a point of entry, point of view of inclination. Like if you live in this era of peace and prosperity, and you saw what happened in Russia as atrocity, how much more you would saw something that happened in the Mayan temple and in the Aztecs temple. That anyway, but yeah, I gotta acknowledge that if you judge, you would be judged by yourself as well, and that's a risk of depression. I've started to feel like I've been forgetting this principle and I need to live more to this, I need to judge people less now. I've strayed out of the path. I need to judge people less now. But man, I had my time of self-defense, right? Because I think people doesn't respect my property and my territory, and they won't give me, like, I've done a lot. I think I have done what it takes to acquire what I deserve, and they just don't want to give me just because of their childish fetish or whatever. Like they want to, it's a power trip, or is it a whatever the reason is that I just couldn't do my business. It's my life and death, my business, my and just people just like just fetishizes about being in my mind, or it's still happening. And it's like, what the, how on earth people are supposed to do business around your community if you keep on treating people like that? It's a miracle. It's a miracle what happened. It's a miracle. I don't know. I don't want to judge anymore. Now I'm judging again. So I gotta figure this out. Okay, thank you very much guys for watching this video. I'm going to end this here. It's so emotional. Thank you. Goodbye.